Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to talk to you guys today about a topic that's really important to me, and it's about a tool that I've been using ever since 2014, and it's something that I use to really keep myself in check and to understand what areas of my life I am content with and where I'm not content and what areas I need to address and work on. And today is going to be all about the life balance wheel. This technique is super easy to use and very, very handy. It's honestly changed my life. So before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to please subscribe to my channel, like this video if you enjoy it. It really helps the algorithm and pushes my videos so more people can watch it and we can grow our community. And I really want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. We have 60,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me. I'm just like over the moon. I can't believe it. We've been growing a little bit faster recently, which is really exciting. I just want to share, what we're sharing with everyone and hopefully touch more lives. So thank you so much to everyone who's been subscribing, commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys make a huge, huge difference. So what is the life balance wheel? The life balance wheel is actually something really simple, and it's basically a wheel. It's a circle, and it's been divided up into like different areas and different kind of topics of our lives. So I'll just show you one that I found on the internet, which I use sometimes to share with other people. I've actually changed my life balance wheel and added in more categories that I personally feel are important to my life. I'm just gonna show it to you guys on the screen, and we'll definitely put it up properly. Oh, you can see into my computer. But yeah, so basically I'm going to read off the different areas. We have spirituality, life planning, family, recreation, health, work, social development. I personally added in a few other areas. I've added in like beauty and kind of like looks, because I think that is something that makes me feel content. As superficial as it seems, like we have to be honest with ourselves. Like this is something between you and yourself, so don't worry about what feels superficial. You just have to be honest with yourself so you can really understand what areas you want to, focus on. So basically you break down these areas, you score yourself from 1 to 10 in each area. And then after you're done doing this exercise, the idea is that you want to kind of have like some sort of wheel shape. So if you have like all 5s, that's fantastic. Or 5 and 6, that's great too. 5, 6, 7, that's good too. But if you have like 9 here, or like a 9 where it comes to like social and recreation and like spirituality, but you have like a 0 when it comes to health and career and like development, you're not going to have a balance. So you want to have like something very similar between each of the categories in terms of score. My goal is always to like try and score 8s in every area. You don't have to be a 10 in every single area. You can be, and that's fantastic, but I think aiming to be somewhere like between 7 and 8 in every single area is amazing. And it just depends on you and your drive and your standards that you have in your life and what makes you feel content. Truthfully, we all have to be, again, very honest with ourselves. If you are happy with a 5 in all areas, then you're happy with a 5. I personally am not. Like, I am a very driven person. I like to work as hard as I can and try to go as hard as I can in every area. So for me, I want to have an 8 and above an area. That's my standard for myself. So just be honest with yourself. So I just want to remind you guys, I think this is really important to use this tool, because when I think about it, we're always auditing different areas of our lives. Like we're auditing our finances to know, what is our financial status? Are we happy with our finances? We audit our groceries to know what we need to buy from the grocery store. We audit like our space to figure out what we need to buy for the house, but we never audit our lives and how we feel. So for me, this tool, the life balance wheel, is a really great way just to like audit myself and audit how I'm feeling. I get asked all the time, like, what gets you motivated? How are you always motivated all the time? And my answer is always 2 things. You need to ask yourself, why are you demotivated? And I think people are demotivated for 2 reasons. It's either they are missing a specific area in this life balance wheel where they're just like neglecting a very important category of their lives, always make us kind of feel a bit depressed, and it demotivates us. Or you're not setting high enough goals for yourself, so you're just like not challenging yourself enough. And goal setting is a whole nother thing, and we can create a whole video on that topic if you guys want to. Comment down below and I'll look into creating a video for that. But for me, I think finding balance is even more important. I think if you have balance, even if you're not being challenged enough, you'll still be content. Where if you don't have balance, honestly, even if you're like a 10, and an 8 and a 9 and a couple of areas, you won't feel that kind of peacefulness, that harmony, and that feeling of just being blissful and content and happy, because really it's so important not to neglect any area of your life. Like, I've realized this in my 30s. I think in my 20s I wasn't really in touch with myself, and I was just so focused on certain areas that I never checked in with myself to see, am I happy, am I content? I was just driven on a few goals. But now I'm like, no, I need to make sure that I'm balanced. Like, that's my ultimate goal, is like stay balanced and keep working harder. I want to make sure I don't neglect this any area at all. I hope I didn't ramble on that topic, but I just want you guys to know how important it is to be balanced. It really, really, really is. And trust me, take it from me. Like, I've experienced many different, big successes in life in just a few areas. And at the same time, I was neglecting other areas. And trust me, even like really big successes, like when we got our investors on board, when we got crazy evaluations for our company, it felt like nothing because I didn't have balance in my life. It was actually even more depressing because I was like, why am I not happy? And now I really make it a mission to try and check in on my life balance wheel and reassess myself every 6 months. I think you should do it quarterly if you can, every 3 months. Just put it in your calendar, check in with yourself, do a score, and like figure it out. Otherwise, do it every 6 months, every year at least. So let's get into like one category just so you guys kind of understand what the breakdown is. So here, just from this like life wheel that I found online, I'll share with you guys how it's broken down. Look at one category. You have work. So work is defined by career planning, workplace relations, business skills, entrepreneurship, management, leadership. So just think of it as like, in this bucket, am I happy with my job, my career, my team that I'm working with, etc. And take yourself, like from 0 would be completely unhappy, 10 would be like you cannot be happier, and give yourself a rating. So just ask yourself, like, am I truthfully as happy as I could be? Yes or no? And if not, where do I fall in the spectrum, 0 to 10? And share the rating, put it down. Like, what I did is I just listed out the different categories and I put, the score out of 10. And then I also put beside it, like, what is the gap? What would make me have a 10 out of 10? And I put that in every single category. So then that way I can understand, what do I need to achieve to get the 10 out of 10? Like, what do I need to strive for in this bucket? And I did this in every single bucket. So I'm gonna go through all the buckets now just to share with you guys, so you have it. If you don't wanna hear me talk about every single bucket, fast forward, but I just wanna share it with you guys just in case. So we covered the work bucket. We also have the social bucket. So social includes friends, community, and environment. Are you happy with your friends? Are you happy with how often you see them? Are you happy with how much you socialize with the community? So not just your immediate friends, but also like, are you active in society? And all of these categories on this life balance wheel all are coming from our human needs, which we've learned from sociology and just from different philosophers. And I really think it's important not to neglect any of your human needs. Again, it all is like life and your happiness and your feeling of peace and feeling content all comes from feeling balanced. So please don't neglect any area. So rate yourself on social. Out of like all of these things that we just described, what would you rank yourself from 0 to 10? And again, understand what would be a 10 out of 10. Where would you have to be to say, I could not be happier than this? I'm doing everything I want to do in this bucket and I am a 10, and just again, be honest with yourself and share what would be the gap. What do you need to achieve to become the 10 out of 10? Next bucket is health. So for health, we have physical fitness, nutrition, stress reduction, it's basically wellness, medicine and healing, mind-body wellness, and healthy living. So again, share your rating for yourself. Where are you from 0 to 10? And again, I would recommend for each of these buckets every single time, write down what the gap is. What do you need to achieve to be a 10 out of 10? So the next bucket we have is development. So in development, we have intellect, lifelong education, reading, motivations, values and morals, self-esteem, recovery. For development, think about it as like, how often do you get to read books? Have you taken enough courses in all the things that you're interested in? Do you watch enough podcasts, documentaries? Are you getting training at work? Like, do you feel like you're getting new skills every single, year? Because it's really important as humans, we do want to grow. We're all craving growth. So it's really important to make sure that whatever growth means to you, that you're able to get that from a development standpoint, from like a skill set standpoint. So, you know, if that means like learning a new skill once a year or something small, like I want to learn how to bake cookies. I don't know, like anything. I mean, I don't know how to cook. So for me, that's something on my list of things to do. It's in my development bucket, but it's also in my hobbies bucket because I do think cooking is fun. So some of these things, like certain aspects can cross over, but again, just try to like figure out how you feel overall in this one category. So the next bucket we're going to talk about is spirituality. So for me, spirituality is very important. It's, you know, for me, it's connecting with God, Allah, you know, because I feel when I am connected with God and my just understanding of this life, I feel like I'm at peace because, you know, again, every religion's different. Every person's connection to their religion is also different. But for me, it's a really, really important bucket. It doesn't have to be for you, but for me, I feel it's something that makes me feel very strong. Here under this bucket in this life balance wheel, they've put morals and ethics, spiritual accountability, your life purpose, which is a very strong one, and again, is a reason why I think this bucket is so important, if not the most important bucket. I think it's the most important bucket. Because again, life purpose is something that all of us need to feel, and I think all of us are craving. We all need to know our why at work, but also our why in life, I think is even more important. You know, your local place of worship affiliation. So are you a part of a church, a mosque? Are you going to different places to engage with people? Because again, if you're a spiritual person, that is important to you. And then lastly, your relationship with, here it says God, and if you're a believer of God, you know, use that, or you could say higher power or the universe, whatever it is that you feel fits your spirituality. So again, I would take this, give yourself a rating between 0 and 10, and fill in the gaps. So what do you need to be a 10 out of 10? So for the next bucket, we're going to talk about life planning, which is also a very important bucket because I feel like if you don't have a plan and you don't have a vision of where you're going, you're going to either feel frustrated, you're going to feel lost, you're going to feel demotivated, or you're just going to feel stagnant, like you haven't really gone anywhere. So it might not bother you right now or in the next few years, but 10 years later, you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't really get anywhere in life, but you didn't plan. And if you don't plan, you just don't get anywhere. Like, what is that quote? If you fail to plan to fail. Yeah, that's the one. So true. Every part of my life, if I don't plan every single detail, it just does not happen. So literally, I plan every single thing, like everything. Like I literally even have planned in my routine, like when I brush my teeth, every single detail's in my calendar. Just sharing with you guys if you want to do that too. It might sound crazy, but trust me, it helps to really just stay organized. So for life planning, we have financial planning, we have time management. So again, that's just like planning your life, having a solid routine and just feeling organized and planned and prepared. We have goal setting in here. So that's kind of like, this is something that you can really get from doing this exercise, that you can work on your life planning. Life transitions, so when you're going from being a student to starting your career, to starting a family, to, you know, every transition in your life, you know, this is something really important. Here it says aging and mortality, so I guess you plan for that. I haven't really gone too far into that, to be honest. I think the only thing that I've done in relation to aging and mortality is I can think of, like, I froze my eggs because I wanted to have the option to have children in the future in case I want to or in case I wait. So yeah, I guess it just depends on like what you relate to that, but that's an interesting one. Life planning, just think about it for planning your future, planning your life, taking care of yourself, taking care of your retirement, taking care of just your life planning, aging, planning, all of it. And I think that this is something that really needs to be done thoughtfully and carefully, and you need to really assess it on an ongoing basis because things always change and you need to adjust and you need to really be prepared for the future. So the next one is family. So here we have parents, children, extended relatives, spouse, intimacy and sex, and parenting. So it's really like all of your different family relationships in one bucket. And again, like you need to assess, are you happy with all the different types of relationships you have, and kind of like go through each one and just ask yourself, are you happy with each area? And again, rate yourself 0 to 10 and put the rating and see what do you need to be a 10 out of 10 through all of those different relationships. Obviously, family covers such a wide array of relationships, and that could even include your closest friends, in my opinion, because sometimes your friends are your family. And I think there's a difference between the friends bucket that are like your friends, acquaintances, and like friends, but then there's like friends who, in my life, I have friends who I consider family, so I'd actually even include them in this bucket. But yeah, again, assess, how are you feeling about that area of your life? Are you content? Are you happy with the quality of the relationships you have, or do you want to feel closer? Do you want to feel more connected? What is it? So just give yourself a thought and share your rating. And now we have the last bucket on this wheel, although I'm going to add one more, and it's recreation, which is a very important bucket. This is the one that, for myself personally, I tend to neglect the most. So I'm really working on trying to focus on this more, but recreation is all about fun and just like experiencing things that are outside of like work, and just things where you're trying to be really productive and development. So it includes things like just experiencing art and music and appreciating it, going to an opera gallery, or even taking time to like make your own playlist, like, do things that you really love to enjoy. Could be watching a nice movie, literature, rest and leisure, getting a massage, going on a spa day, getting your nails done. Then there's also sports and hobbies. Like, are you doing enough there? Are you doing things for fun? Are you playing football, basketball, whatever you like to play, cards, or even like, video games? Traveling, going on vacation, exploring the world, and humor and fun. So all of these things fall under the recreation bucket. And again, I feel like I've always tend to kind of neglect this bucket, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm trying to be more aware of that now, and I'm trying to do things more with the intention of just having fun rather than development or being productive or feeling like I'm doing it for my family or for my friends. Like, I want the intention to be for fun. So again, ask yourself, how do you feel about this bucket in your life, and give yourself a rating. That's everything on this balance wheel. Now I'm going to add a wheel for you guys, and you don't have to add it if you don't want to, but I've included a kind of more superficial bucket, and it's like basically beauty. I put like looks and beauty, and there I put like my skin, my hair, my fashion, my makeup, my looks, like full on looks. I even included like hair laser and stuff like that, because I just wanted to make sure I'm taking care of like my grooming and stuff. And I know we had spa and the recreation bucket, but for me that's more of like taking care of myself, grooming, getting facials and etc. So again, if you want to add this bucket, it's up to you. I have. And again, I put fashion, like, am I happy with my style? Am I happy with all of this? And I put it in. So if you want to add that, you could put that in now and give yourself a rating 0 to 10. And again, add where are the gaps. So now you should have a rating for all of the different areas of the life balance wheel. And what I want you to do is highlight the 3 areas that you scored the least in. And please don't tell me you scored low in every single area, or high in every single area, or the same in every single area. If you did, that's okay, but I think it's not normal. Like, I think that if you really dig deep, and if you have to do the exercise again and really think about it and really assess, do it again, because it's very not normal to really be in complete balance all the time. If you are fantastic, I'm never like in complete balance. I'm always like either really high in a couple areas and really low in a couple areas, or middle in some, high in some, low in some. But it's really good for us to just say, what are the areas where we're scoring the least in? And those are the areas that I recommend you take the next 3 months to focus on. It could be even 6 months, like 3 to 6 months, you focus on these areas until the next time you redo this exercise. Take a look. Where did you guys score the lowest? And what do you feel you're missing or craving the most in your life? And if you have been feeling low recently, depressed, a little bit demotivated, I think that focusing on the areas that you need to work on the most really will make a huge difference. When I first did this exercise, it was back in 2014 with one of my friends. She's also a life coach, Noelle. Her Instagram is Change with Noelle if you guys want to check her out. She's a total sweetheart. And what we did is the areas that I scored the least at that time, So she gave me an exercise for each area. So for example, if you scored low in the health area, so what do you need to get healthy? So put together a workout plan, a diet plan, and a wellness plan, and put together like different things. And then you have like the exercises you need to do for that bucket to help you get closer to the 10 that you want to achieve, or whatever rating you want to achieve. So if there's a different area that you scored low in, like I remember when I first did this exercise with Noelle, that was one of my areas. It was health, because I wasn't happy with my level of fitness and strength. So I put together a workout plan. I put together a plan for my diet and just different things to just get me back on track with supplements and just feeling healthy. Another area I scored really low on at the time, not now, was love and relationships. And this was not like with my family, but like in terms of like a romantic relationship. So I remember the exercise she gave me at the time, which was really cool, to be honest. I mean, it did actually help me feel a lot better, and I felt more positive about love and relationships. So she told me to watch a romantic movie. I think it was once a week. I had to watch a cheesy rom-com or romantic movie. I prefer rom-com because I like comedy. She told me to make a love playlist, like a song, like music playlist. So a whole bunch of romantic, cheesy songs, all about love. And the last thing was, because I told her, I was like, you know, whenever people bring up men and relationships, I used to be really negative, and I used to say men suck and like all these things, and how like it's so hard to find true love, etc. And she was like, every time people bring up love and relationships, you have to say really positive things about guys and love and relationships. And I was like, oh my God, at first I was like, girl, I don't lie, like no. Then she just convinced me, and I did. And I just really forced myself to like always focus on the actual like love stories and everything, because there's so many stories of like negative things that happen. But the truth is, if we look carefully and we really search for it, there are also a lot of amazing love stories. But we're always taught to kind of like focus on the negative, but because we want to protect ourselves, right? Like that's just our human nature. But you really shouldn't. Just try and focus on the positive. So that's an example of 2 buckets from my side. Like for now, I mean, I'm honestly gonna redo my ranking for myself because I haven't done this exercise in a while. So after this video, I'm gonna do it again. But if you guys want more examples of like how to create different goals for different buckets where you scored low, I can help you out. Just comment down below any questions that you have, and we'll either do like a part 2 of this video, or I'll try to comment back to you guys. What I would say is the best way to figure out like what you should do is to understand, what do you want? And when you figure out what you want, like what do you need to do what you need to get or achieve to be that 10 out of 10, you kind of find the gap, and then you figure out what you need to do. And if you're struggling, just let me know and I'll try my best to help you guys out. But again, like this tool, like I can't tell you guys enough how much this tool has changed my life and changed other people's lives too. Like I've shared it with so many people, and every single person that I've shared it with has just said it's really made a huge difference in their lives. So I hope that you guys are able to use this tool as often as you can. Again, like I would recommend every 3 months if you can. If you're really disciplined, you know, do it every 3 months. Otherwise, every 6 months would be fantastic as well. And at a minimum, please do it once a year, because time flies, and if we don't check in, we wait too long, and then before you know it, we're just like, we've lost touch of big categories of our lives. Every single one is so important. So as always, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it really benefits you and helps you change your life for the better, and I hope it helps you find peace and just happiness and the feeling of being content, everything that you're doing. And please use this tool. And if you enjoyed this and it makes a difference for you, please share it with your friends. Again, it's like something that's just been a staple in my life ever since my friend shared this with me in 2014. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any suggestions for our next videos. I always love getting your comments and your suggestions. You guys are amazing. You have the best ideas ever. And thank you again for all of your support. As always, I want to end this video with a quote. And for today's quote of the day, it is, balance is not something you find, it's something you create. And I definitely believe in that. And it's something that you also have to strive to continue working on, because it's very easy to go off balance, and it's really something that you have to continuously just work on. So please use this wheel for yourself, and I hope you guys all find balance, happiness, and just the feeling of peace and harmony. I love you guys so much. Until next time, mwah, love you guys.